Hi y'all. It's Wednesday, October 24th, and I'm finally getting my Halloween decorations up. I watched last year's video. That was my mistake yesterday. I was going to do this yesterday, and then, I fell asleep, of course, and I sat down in my chair because I couldn't remember where I put some of this stuff, so I watched last year's video to see and kind of get an general idea of what went where, and that train is over there. Last year I had a private plane. This year I have a private train taking people to places and things where they love to be. But yeah, I sat down to watch that video, and that's like 20-minute video. So by the time I watched it, I lost all motivation to actually get out here. I did one thing. And that was it. That was about it for the day. You'll see that one thing later. But this year, you may notice I have leaves. We're starting on the side of the house because I got to be careful with where I flip. I have another one of these things, and I like him. You may remember I had like 2 or 3 of them over here last year. They did not survive, as I expected them not to. I mean, they last a year, and that's about it. I guess, once again, he's skinny, like the last ones were, and I guess that's more okay as a vampire, you know. I guess maybe he's, like, svelte or something, if he hasn't eaten in a while. I fucking hate their hands. There is no way... There's just no way to make these. Like, I had to put them in like the basic grrr stance. Yeah, and well, here, let me take you through. Let me take you through a little journey on what I think about this guy. I can't, with his arms like that, do a very menacing pose, I don't feel. So I was trying to like make him do the floss, and that was not very successful either. So I decided, like, 1 in the pink, 2 in the stink back there. I think that might work best. Maybe he just always has to pee. Oh my god. ¿Dónde está el baño? I don't know why. He's in Spain, right? Maybe? Don't ask me. I don't think these things through. You know, his head's like swaying to, like, he's just listening to some bomb-ass music. Boom. What is love? Lady, don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! No more! Oh, shit, I heard him. Nah, he's fine. Okay, so after all of that, I decided, I'm like, well, how do they try to sell this? What does the picture on the package look like? You know, since they're trying to sell this and make it look menacing and scary because it's Halloween, you know, whatever. And the picture they have on here, they basically just fucking have him jazz handsing. Like, hello? Oklahoma? Where the something on the plane or something? I don't think these things through. We discussed this. Yeah, so these arms, man, there's like no way to really pose them. I don't know if maybe he's gonna, you know, initiate you into some kind of tickle war, or maybe do some jumping jacks. I'm not really sure what this stand says, but it's what I got. And of course my Asian ghost is flying high in her tree. I still do not have a ladder, so I was not able to really get her up as high as I probably would have liked, but she still floats fairly well, even though she's stuck to the ground down there already. That's nice, but maybe next year. I also left that window cling thing in. That's been up there since last year. I kind of did it as like a joke to myself, because I did forget it to take it down. And then I was like, you know what? It might be fun to every once in a while have that scare the fuck out of me. Like I forget it's up there, and then I notice it, and I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, I noticed it. Other people have noticed it. And they'll be like, hey, you left a thing up. And I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a thing, but it wasn't. And of course, down here hiding amongst the brush is the Franken-deer. And one thing you may notice in some sections, I don't know if I mentioned last year, was it last year when they'd already been bitching about it? My insurance company wanted me to cut the trees from around my house. So some of the trees, I mean, this one's obviously is still sturdy. I mean, you know, the Asian ghost is back there somewhere in the craziness. But some of my trees are gone on the other side. But unfortunately, I don't have anything done with them yet. As you can see, unclaimed space for something, some project someday, like, you know, putting my gutter back up one of these days, or having somebody do it, because I don't know how to do it. I'm not very handy, but I decided to at least put the little monkey over here in this tree that's already growing back. Careful, don't show too much shit. But yeah, there is plenty of potential for next year. And I still have my pumpkin guys up there, up top. I want to get more pumpkins, because I think these guys need a buddy or two to hang up out there with them. Hang out up there with them. And once again, Winnie's sister is hanging here from the tree. Not as high as I kind of wanted her up there, but, you know, once again, no ladder. And Winnie is hiding back here, boiling up a pot of trouble. She took the skeletons this year that I usually have stuck in the ground, and she's doing some evil potion with them. And she has her little head, her little shrunken head, and a book. And she has a second book. She's learning something new. Let's see if we can steal some of her secrets. Oh, never mind. They redid the road this year, and they put in this cheap, shitty shit. So it's a lot louder than it used to be when cars go by. Really good for making videos. Around the corner from Winnie and her sister, we have the spider hovel once again. Over here with this guy and that little guy who might come and get you. You know, something was actually making noise in here earlier. It was not happy, I don't think. And that guy's looking out. Oh, and look, these guys are hanging out over here. Oh, there it goes. I'm not sure what that is, but I think I was pissing it off when I was putting these in the tree earlier. But these, if they're here, what does that mean? And once again, over here to this side of the house, I have my little goblin gas. Nice. My little goblin section. He decided to come hang out over here, and I forgot one. I just remembered I was supposed to bring it with me, but the clown is over here with the rest of the goblins and the ghouls. What does that mean? Probably that I was lazy. There we go. That guy can be over here in the goblin hangout this year. But once again, what does it mean? Graveyard's looking pretty normal this year. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to her veil that I bought her last year. The bloody one with the bloody roses on it. I don't know if it blew away or I just can't find it. But not this year anyway. Of course, we got the Reaper up there, flying somewhat high. As high as I could get him, I guess, for this year. Everybody's wouldn't want to come down this road right now. This is one new addition to the graveyard this year. She's not the only bride anymore. Don't look. Oh my god, I almost showed it. I might have to check that clip just to make sure. Reshoot. But I really liked how flowy she was. I got her, oh god. Shopco? Did I get you at Shopco? No, Salvation Army. I got this at Salvation Army. And I liked her little flowiness. I think I had something else to say about her, but I don't know what that was. I believe the last shot was safe. And I got her at Goodwill. Goodwill, not Salvation Army. Oh my god, I should have reshot it anyway, maybe. But I like the idea of her just kind of floating here, you know? Ethereal, like, just turning around, acting like I don't matter. That's how the ladies do with me in general. I just remembered what else I wanted to say about her. The clip from the other day. This is one of my new girls this year. Another bride. But like I said, her little string here, her little hangy thing, is way too long, and I don't want that to show, because I want it to just kind of look like the head is floating, kind of like here in space, you know. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. I could just leave it back behind, maybe, and tie the string down here, and then hopefully that would stay behind and you wouldn't see it. Or I might just cut it off and make a smaller loop and hide it behind this flower here. That is, I feel like maybe that's a move maybe I should try next year. Because, I mean, that's a mistake you can only make once. If I make it too short and I can't actually tie it together, then I have, like, no way to hang her. So, we'll see which way it ends up getting done. As you can see, I decided to go with the snipping it off and hiding it behind her flower, which I think works pretty good. And of course, this guy's just hanging out in the ass crack of the tree here. But below him, I have, you know, this, it's still holding together after all the years. And this is a guy, I got him at that Halloween Superstore up in Michigan, in Escanaba. They just had like they like built their own walls in you know, middle of the mall, like what used to be the food court. But I thought this guy, because he's full size. I mean, you can maybe see him down there, see in his pelvic region. But see, there's his little toesies. There's his little toesies. So like, he's full size. I was gonna maybe set him up by the front door this year, but that has a different approach. So. Thanks for visiting. But yeah, I decided I didn't want to put too much over there, which I guess looking at it, there's not really too much over there. But I decided maybe bulk up the graveyard a little bit with this guy and this lady right here. There's a fuller shot of the graveyard. So as you can see, that guy's kind of hiding back there in the brush, but hopefully that'll help that stand up, because it always ends up falling over anyway. And this guy's gonna sit over here this year, and I worry, as you can see, when I was trying to pull his mask apart, I pulled it apart because it was kind of stuck to itself. So when I went to pull it, I got the job done. So I'm a little worried this mask is not going to survive anymore, but perhaps he will be resurrected as some other sort of demon, if need be. At least I got my flowers out here, keeping watch. And of course, this guy hanging in the tree, and it's become a little bit of a park this year because he's got a fellow swinger over here. Not slinger, swinger. He has sex with other people's wives. My devil worship has summoned a train. And these guy right here. And yeah, there's the scorpion. Scorpion. That might have been safe. I don't know. His regular spot belongs to this guy. At least this year. My little dragon, you can open and close his mouth if you want, but he looks more ferocious if you have his mouth open, I think. Rawr. Let me tell you something, guy. I'm not your buddy, guy. I guess he's Canadian, I don't know. Are dragons Canadian? Who cares? Sure, they come in all flavors, right? Him I did get at Shopko, and he was the only one. I went to a couple Shopkos after that, and I didn't see this guy, and he was the only one they had at the Shopko, and I think I saw him maybe later at like another Shopko or two, but so hopefully if you like this guy, you are able to find him, because apparently everybody else likes him too, and that's because he badass. This is what I did differently with the door this year. I got some bloody gauze at Goodwill again. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I might have a clip of that. This shit. Right now it's just kind of a nest. I've been trying to pull it and stretch it out, but it's like stuck on itself, much like it was on the cardboard. So yeah, I actually bought the one because it looked bloodier, and that was the one that ended up being the one that was really the pain in the ass, because the paint stuck to itself. So it kind of unraveled like a piece of crap. But, and then I had to, they were kind of on here, you can kind of see how this one's a little bit thin. I had to stretch, finally got smart and realized, hey, I have to stretch these out so that they'll give off the effect that I want them to give. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool little, maybe different thing to do this year, you know. When I saw those, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. If I hate it, I just won't do it next year. And now we have the butchery. Of course, we have our skull on the hook, and we have our hand. Oh, and we have our other hand that is on the kind of a barbed wiry sort of thing. So yeah, we have the butchery, and we have the butcher. Ta-da! This is my new favorite thing. Thank you, Josh, for showing me this on the intranet. He is so wonderful and lovely. These are fake as shit, but at least from far back, maybe they look alright. I don't know. But he was a little bit of a project, because he actually only came with this. So I added him some legs so that it looks like he's standing here. Because I thought I have enough flowy kind of things. Let me back up. Because, you know, I got flowy all up in this bitch. So I decided I needed something that looked like it had legs and that it would chase you. And this guy was, like I said, a little bit of a project. And I definitely have clips of that. So here you go. This is what is under my Pigman. One of these $7 thingies from Walmart. I'm actually doing this clip second, because I put the Pigman on the Scarecrow before I took a shot of it, but I just wanted to show that this is, what is this little Harvest Scarecrow-y thing for $7, and he actually doesn't look too bad on there once I get him. I don't know what this flyaway hair is here, his little cowlick thing going on, but that's probably from having the other guy on there. But yeah, I just wanted to show off that that is what I was speaking of. And we had like a whole bin of these things left. I think we usually do. I don't know, Minx is having a moment over there. So even, it gives, you know, there might be some of these left after season for like half price. So, if you want to pick yourself up some, I don't know, hopefully it works the way that I want it to. Terrifying. Well, this is initially what this guy looks like with no pants. I don't know, there's a part of me that almost likes him being like half, you know, pig butcher man, half scarecrow-y kind of thing. But at the same time, I think that looks a little too ridiculous and not threatening enough. And if there's anything I want to do, 'tis threaten. 'Tis raining and gross, but I am going out in this to try to find the Pigman some boots and play some Pokemon. There has been a beheading. So yes, that's what is up underneath this guy. And from this angle, it doesn't look so bad. But you turn this way, and you can see his stick. I was hoping the shoes would cover that up. And he's kind of standing there at an angle, and I kind of don't necessarily like it. But, you know, it's this is my first year trying something like this, so I'm giving myself some leeway if it looks like shit. I don't know. I can't decide if that is a good height or not. Like before, when I had the head and everything on there, or on the inside, the scarecrow and everything, he was like super tall, and it was just like, I don't, lanky and weird, and I don't know. It was more like a Slender Man kind of thing, honestly. So maybe that's something I might do next year. But I went to, that was Salvation Army. That's what I did. The pants and the boots came from Salvation Army. That's where I had Salvation Army in my head. I guess Salvation Army, Goodwill, I think, kind of, two like charity organizations. So I guess that's where I get the confusion. So yes, you may notice it's empty. I decided not to use the wheelchair this year. I don't know. I just kind of got tired of, I thought it was a cool thing the first year that I had it. Because it's like, oh, this looks like something that should be like in a, like a horror, like an abandoned hospital kind of thing. So it was cool, but the last couple years I've just kind of like phoned it in, putting that clown ghoul thing in it just to kind of have something in it. I do have a plan possibly for next year. But I kind of got tired of doing the same old thing. I want to do something a little different. And so maybe next year you'll see something a little different. And like I said, no skeletons, no bloody footprints. Too lazy. I've only got like a week to go now. Anyway, so I'm going to take you back here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I didn't use that are usually, here, and explain why they're not part of this year's festivities, I guess. This is my little blue shed, and if you ever hear me call it Ava's Playhouse, well, that's because the previous owners left this here. I told them it was there. When we went to do the, sign the paperwork and yada, yada, yada. But they said they had everything out that they wanted, so that is why I call this Ava's Playhouse, in case that ever pops out of my mouth and you wonder. So yeah, here mixed in my friend Nick's stuff. There's the bat. I don't know. Have I been putting him out? I don't know if I put the bat. I think I might have had him out a couple years or something. Maybe when I had a tree and he was like kind of hanging out in the road or something. I used this one year. I'm pretty sure, that thing. I am so surprised this hasn't blown the fuck away yet. And this, like, as you can see, it's all faded and shit and bent. Well, I guess maybe it's the other one that's bent. I didn't tell it to get bent, it just did it. These guys, I almost put them up on top with the, getting a little handsy there, watch out. Up on top with the, the other pumpkins. The only thing I had in my head was penguins. I was like, I don't have any penguins in my Halloween decorations. But I almost put them up top with, like, I was saying something, I kind of want some other pink fucking shitcock. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Reshoot? Nah, bitch. We doing this raw. Pumpkins. I almost put them up there with my pumpkins. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess the other ones look more like creatures, and these look more like evil pumpkins. So I guess, you know, I kind of wanted them to have, you know, they're just kind of like evil pumpkins instead of like pumpkin creatures, so to speak, I guess. And of course, there's this guy who, you know, I've been, you know, I don't know. He, and of course, oh, here's one of these. It's all ripped up and torn to shreds. And there's that guy. You may remember him. He usually sits over, like kind of around the bird bath. But as you can see, his face exploded. So you can see all the Walmart bags and stuff. Of course, I guess that's kind of creepy. You know, his face, I don't know, is exploded. It looks gross, I suppose. And the only, well, maybe not the only other thing, but there's my knocker, because I, you know, because I did something different with the door this year. I decided to, I couldn't figure out what to do with him, so he kind of got left out this year. But maybe I can figure out something to do with him next year. So, and you've had a toilet paper roll in the shot the entire time. That's exciting to you. And here's some of these that are like ripped and torn to shreds and missing pieces, and I've got butts and butts and butts, and yeah, those are the kind of things that only last a year. So, no big deal. Because this is Ava's Playhouse, I have this second shed, and her husband's name was Kenny. And Kenny's Arcade. I decided to call this Kenny's Arcade. Kind of like Penny Arcade, you know, Kenny's Arcade, blah, 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 blah. But that is where I guess you're seeing behind the scenes this year, because I've never brought you back here. This is where I store my shit. So, yeah, like I said, it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem creative enough again this year to just, oh, you know, like I said, just, oh, let's throw this out there and blah, 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 you know. And that's where the snake is. I didn't put the snake out this year, or the Freddy Krueger stuff. He's just kind of hanging out in here this year, I guess. Microwaving some food. Fuck you. That bitch, just to spite me, is probably going to last a fucking decade. And I almost forgot. Because the butcher is here, I decided, you know, he might as well just store his axe right over there. Why not? Shelfie! So, yeah, that is the end of it. Not the end of people coming down this road making a bunch of noise on the shitty rock work. You know what I didn't do? Tradition. He just parked in front of my house. Not necessarily in front of my house, but in the middle of my shot. So the house next door is actually up for sale, finally, after I don't even know how many years. So I think that's, like, you know, people have been going over there, like realtors and stuff. So, and why they didn't just park in the parking, like the driveway for the house that's actually for fucking sale, I don't know. Because I was going to do my walk-by, my traditional walk-by shot. And then just as I was walking out there to do it, waiting for cars, they parked right there in front of it. So, we're going to put this on pause, and I'll see you for the next shot. But maybe, I mean, if somebody moves into that house, maybe next year, I'll have a Halloween buddy. We'll see. Now there's a second vehicle. This could take a while. Okay, well, they finally moved, and there's no cars coming for like 5 minutes here. So, this is what my house, okay, that car's going the other way. My traditional walk-by that I do of me house every year. So, that's what it be. And finally, finish it up. That was the mail, even though it's already been through here. But anyway, so that is 2018 Halloween decorations video. Got that guy over there now, so I've got a butcher friend. So thanks again to everyone who stops by every year. I've got my regular Halloween buddies, Josh, of course, who told me about this in the first place. Thank you. Thank you again, Josh. And of course, Alex and David, and anyone else who stops by that I've forgotten, because I probably did, because I'm a terrible person, inside and out. So that's cool. Yeah, so this is... I need a new fence for my graveyard. I need a ladder. I definitely need a ladder. Oh my god, I need a ladder so bad. So that I can maybe do some of this stuff up. And I need to actually get started earlier, like maybe October 1st, or at least within the first week of October, maybe. I did it like 1 year. There's like 1 year where I actually did it like at the beginning of October. I'm shit. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. But this is how it be this year. And once again, if I don't see you until 2019 for the Halloween decorations, y'all have a good year and a scary ass fucking Halloween.